Thank you very much. My name is John Pansevich from musiclessons.com. I'm a co-founder. And before I begin, I just have a quick question. I want to take a survey. How many people here have ever taken a music lesson before in their life? Wow. Wow. Okay. So we have a room full of musicians. I'm also a musician, and I've taken a lot of music lessons over my life. I still take them today. And up until just a few years ago, there was really only just one way to take music lessons. You hired a private music teacher. Now, today, there's a new choice that people are making, and that is that, I think I have this right here, that you can take music lessons online. Now, what does that mean? What does that look like? Taking music lessons online can be done in two ways. You can use the traditional teaching model that has been around for hundreds of years, but you can do it through Skype or similar video conferencing technology. But you can also do it in a different way that's kind of new and innovative. You can subscribe to a website that gives you access to a library of music lessons that you can watch over and over. Now, there's a few advantages for both teachers and students. Teachers get to leverage their time and their knowledge by selling lessons over and over and over, and students get to kind of do it in a convenient way through their own computer and their broadband access. And in a lot of cases, it's a lot less expensive. So let's talk about teachers for a second. Teachers operate as small independent businesses, and their profit potential is based on how many teachers or how many students that they can teach. Now, if I'm a teacher, I'm thinking two things. Number one, my business is shrinking because more people are taking lessons online. And number two, how do I teach online? How can I make that happen? Well, that's very difficult to do right now. The technology is very expensive. If you want to build your own website, that's going to cost you thousands of dollars. So it's really difficult for teachers to teach, and that's the problem that we're solving. Musiclessons.com is building an open platform for online music education. And it's open in the sense that any teacher can come and create their own school of music. Now, what we're really doing here is we're democratizing the process of teaching online, which is currently not available. There's no real easy way to do this, as I said. And we're basically creating a new marketplace, a place where teachers and students can gather, and teachers can sell their knowledge to students. So here's what we think. Whoops.
John, push the forward button, not the up. You're hitting the wrong button there. Now tell me where you need to be.
Right here. Okay. I should have did the little tutorial earlier. Okay, so here's what we think. And we know the thing is that we're musicians, and we know what our market wants, and here's what we think. We think that music teachers want this technology. They want it to be easy, and they want it to be inexpensive. They want a piece of that market, that online market that is really kind of inaccessible to them right now. There's a bunch of websites that currently sell music lessons, as I mentioned, but they provide services mainly to students. They sell to students, and they're built for students. And what we're trying to do is take that model and flip it upside down. We want to provide services to teachers and create that ability for teachers to teach. Now, basically, what we're going to be doing here is creating choices for students. And through that choice, imagine having teachers from all over the world teaching. Through that choice, students can students can customize their entire learning experience by finding the right teachers for them. We all know that people learn in different ways and teachers teach in different ways. And so what we want to do is bring the right people together. So here's what we propose. Come to musiclessons.com and create your own online school of music. And what does that mean? That means that you can create your own library of multimedia lessons that you can sell over and over and over again. You can also manage a forum to communicate with your students. And you can create a blog And that's just the beginning. This is just our minimum viable product. There's a lot of things that we have in mind. And this is just for teachers. As we move forward, we're going to offer lots of opportunities for students and add value to students themselves. So what does the market look like? Well, we know right now there's over 250,000 teachers. Those are our content providers, and that's just in the United States alone. This is music teachers. And there's over 12 million music students. These are the people paying for that access. And those are just the numbers. As far as the landscape goes, the technology has been built to do this kind of stuff, so we know we can build a really good solution. And we know that broadband access is increasing. It's actually accelerating worldwide. And so the technology is there, but more importantly, music education is shrinking in schools. And so teachers and parents want to expose their kids in new ways, and the internet is definitely one of those ways. We think that this represents a significant opportunity in terms of our content providers and our content consumers. If you can just get a few dollars from a small percentage of 12 million students, that represents a successful, sustainable business. And that's just the beginning in the United States. So how do we make money? Well, we charge service fees. That's the beginning. We also charge, there'll be income from advertising sources. But as far as the service fees go, I mentioned before that a school of music consists of one or more teachers. And we'll be charging those schools $50 per month. We'll also charge for each membership that they sell. It's another service fee, and it's per student. And the initial model is that we'll charge 15% of every subscription that they sell. And remember, they charge their own rate. So we don't know exactly what that's going to be, but we're going to take 15% with a minimum of $3.50. We'll also offer new ways to enhance these schools. So we're thinking that the starter package at $50 gives you a base level of service, but we'll give you opportunities to expand that and add new features to your school. We don't know exactly what that's going to look like right now, but that's definitely going to be in the works. And it's really important that we don't introduce any barriers to entry, any financial barriers to entry. So we've come up with a way to eliminate those barriers, and teachers can get started on this without any cost and without any financial risk. As far as the team goes, we're all musicians. We've been performing music for a long time, and we know our industry, and that's one of the things that we bring to the table here. We're building this for our people, essentially. And so we know this is going to work, at least on a small level. But we have big, big plans for this. And as far as what else we bring to the table, I'm a software developer, and that's kind of my focus, is the technology. Jeff Idemiller has been teaching music professionally for the past 15 years. And he's also a co-founder of a very successful music camp called the Jackson Hole Jackson Hole Rock and Roll Camp. And through that experience, he has created a lot of inroads with some extremely high-profile teachers that we'll take advantage of. And Mac Monroe is running business development, and many of you might recognize him from the golf course. He's our in-house golf pro, as well as he's also a hockey coach. You might recognize him from there as well. But he has been involved with several successful businesses in Jackson Hole, including Two Ocean Builders and Teton VillageSports.com. Now, I'm confident with these guys, and we've known each other for a really long time, and I know that we can make those tough decisions to make this business work. But we understand that we need a lot more. We need a lot more expertise. So not only are we looking for money, but we're looking for people who are going to help us grow our business. How are we going to make this grow? Well, it's all about the teachers. We need to get teachers on board as quickly as possible. And that's where our network of musicians is going to come from. We know, we've already talked to at least 20 people who are interested in starting to teach, and these are incredible musicians. So that's a big part of it. And we need to market to teachers. We also need to create an advisory board with people of all expertise, including music, to help us run this business. And as far as the future direction of growth, we have a lot of ideas, but there's just a few here that I want to mention. One of the things that we find really interesting is when we have some traction and we have a lot of content, we want to bypass the subscription model and allow students to purchase lessons individually. This is pretty important because once they purchase something from us, the chances are they're going to be a lifetime member, because the only way they're going to access that content again is through our technology. And we want to extend this technology far beyond the borders of the United States. So that's a really important piece of this puzzle. So what we're looking for is about $250,000 to $500,000 over a 2-year period. Now, we don't need that money all up front. We want to stage that investment based on goals and milestones that we've achieved. And we need about $75,000 to get this thing going in the short term. Now, we know that music is universal, and so our goal is to make music education universally accessible. Thank you.